like drama, we got it. If you like sports, yeah, we got it. You like politics, promise we got it. Report everything hot at this college. PG News, yeah, right off the press. Reporters and filmers, PG got the best. Information that you need is reported. Make sure y'all tune in for what's happening next.
Welcome everyone to another episode of PGCC Perspective, where we talk about everything political, platonic, and problematic. I'm your host Tibo, and I'm here with.
Joel.
Rio.
And John.
In this episode, we're basically gonna talk about anime, and getting right into it for our first topic, we're gonna talk about new gen versus old gen. When you think about old gen versus new gen, what stands out to you? What's the biggest difference in quality, storytelling, and overall feel?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Um, when I think about old gen versus new gen anime, this is just a personal take on the matter, but I think new gen anime is actually cooked compared to old gen anime. When it comes to first of all the depth in the story and like actually like the lessons that they have in there, and maybe because a lot of the new gen I've been seeing recently is very short form animes, like the 12 episode anime, they don't stick around as much. So yeah, I think old gen is definitely a lot better than new gen anime.
Mm.
But to speak more on that, we first have to kind of classify what we consider old gen versus new gen. What do you guys think? What would you consider old gen anime and new gen anime?
I personally separate it in three groups. For example, I think there is the late '90s to early 2000s, and that's what I believe is old gen. And then there's a middle ground in the late 2000s. I think to like 2010, 9, 11, which is what you would call middle gen. But what the new gen is everything after 2017. And I think the problem with new gen is that there's a writers now trying to appeal to a generation that has less attention span, in my opinion. Because if you see old gen, when we complain about the way they used to make animes years ago, is very very slow paced episodes, slow paced fights, a lot of multiple retakes in one scene, and it's something that a lot of people were okay with 20 years ago. But younger generation now, we want everything fast paced. We talk about Demon Slayer, AOT, My Hero Academia. Those are all animes that you ever watched the Demon Slayer episode and thought that it was done after 5 minutes. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And um in my opinion, that takes away a lot of the depth, like Joel said before, from what anime is about. In my opinion, there the old generation had more substance to it in episodes. I think about the OG Naruto episodes where you had 10, 13, 20 episodes that actually explained this kid's life every day, actually explained his feelings, where he came from, why he was so angry. There's no time to do it now because there's less episodes. There's less time during the episodes, and there's more fights. People like fights now. We don't watch an anime that is a shonen anime that has no fights and more talking. Everybody wants to fight. Everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, that is basically what shonen is. It should be fighting.
It's yeah, with the old gen anime, I think people say that the anime today is very like brain rotty, is very fast paced, very just new, appealing to the younger generations. But I feel like some of the new gen anime still has some spark that the old gen anime had, right? Old gen anime is classified by me by storytelling and like how they captivate their audience through all the story and all the world building. And I still think that some of the anime of today still show that same world building, but still it has a little bit of appeal
I
to
mean,
the new
give me an
generations.
example. I want to hear an example.
An example of the new gen anime of doing this, I think, perfectly is Made in Abyss. They still have a great
Ooh.
story, and they go. The world building is amazing there while they're going down into the abyss, and I feel like the pacing is pretty good for an anime itself. Uh, to be fair, I think that anime was released like 2014, 2015, but
Mm.
yeah, again, maybe we could talk about Chainsaw Man too, the new gen anime.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what do y'all think about Chainsaw Man?
What do I think about it? Chainsaw Man. I liked it. I think it's it's a perfectly okay anime. It had a lot of very controversial things. Oh, like it explored a lot of different parts of life, making it not a simple anime. It showed us the dirty, the good, the ugly, the best moments. And honestly, for a new gen anime, I do praise it for how good they made, like how real kind of they made
Oh,
everything,
real.
like yes, because many new animes these days, they are so basic
Oh my
and
god, that is so real.
love reusing classic tropes. They love doing this dumb as they love doing this dumb obscure jokes,
That,
this
that's what we
like
call slop.
yes.
Slop.
And this getting reincarnated into a new world, like so many times, like what's wrong with Earth, bro?
Bro, do I gotta say that these days you have to search so hard to find good anime, bro? I mean, except for the ones that really come up to the top as popular nowadays, which a lot of them are good. But if you're not looking at just the top popular ones, you have to search so hard to find good anime these days.
The top popular anime consists one time it consists of Solo Leveling.
Oh
So I
my
would
god, this guy,
considering that as top tier slop for anime
bro.
lovers.
But that's exactly what I meant before. Solo leveling is this. The word is saying it. He's soloing and he's leveling up. So that's why people liked it because it's you don't have to stay there and understand much. You just see this guy getting powerful and powerful every episode. So I believe Solo leveling has no depth. Quote me,
No
quote
depth.
me, quote me, quote me.
You're
But
right.
I liked it. I liked it because it's flashy. I'm a Gen Z myself. It's flashy. The fights are good. The main character looks good. And
But do you think that like that's what the new gen are in for? Because that's the main new gen anime. Because you could do other stuff while watching.
That's exactly what he's saying. That it's so flashy. You don't have to concentrate on the story too much.
You could
You
do
you
other
just have
stuff
to.
while looking at it and not really think. Do you think that's that shows a bit about like our generation today, how they it gets dumbed down
Oh,
into this them liking stuff without them like considering the story, the nuances of the story, all that stuff that makes a story good. You
right.
think they it just makes it dumbed down into like, oh, big good fight scene.
I, for one, I absolutely agree that soul leveling definitely lacks plenty of depth, but it's about how it made me feel. Soul leveling was so enjoyable, and I do not know. I don't exactly know why it was, but there are just so many story like driven animes out there with really good stories that I still can't put above solo leveling.
Mm,
The enjoyment factor, the hype, the joyful feeling I felt watching Soul Leveling was really good. And honestly, I still haven't found out exactly what it was that made it that good to me.
you got anything to say, Rio?
honestly, like I said before, it does reflect, and that how John said in a way, it does reflect the generation we are in now. I ask you guys something. Everybody watched JJK, right? Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Hmm.
So without the fights, would you think our generation without the fights would appreciate all the compelling side and all the intricate explanation of how the curse technique and all of that works. We all appreciate JJK because there's that and there's cool fights as well. But without the cool fights and more talking, do you think our generation would put JJK on this pedestal?
It has to be a delicate balance of both. Like you can't. It's the anime is based on fighting, so like you can't ask JJK to not have good fight scenes in it. Like, bro, a lot of this, the depth in the story that you're talking about that some anime like, a lot of the depth actually comes from the type of warring era that JJK is in, and the fact that people are dying all around. So the fights are an intricate, are a solid part of the anime, and that's what I think.
I feel like every fight in JJK uh, happens for a reason. If you just put on a fighting anime with they're fighting for zero reason, zero plot, zero story, they're just fighting just to fight. I think that makes it a little bit boring, I guess.
Wait, I just thought about something. What do you guys think about One Punch Man?
Okay, okay.
That's the first thing that came to mind when
That's
you just said fighting just for fighting.
that's satirical, right? Because it depends on the genre of anime. One Punch Man is supposed to be satirical. It's supposed to be, oh, this guy can destroy a monster in one punch, and that's the whole entire story. The way that they go about that in the first season was amazing. It was funny. It was amazing. Everything happened such a blast. But the second season started to drop down because the animation, and then the third season was. We don't talk about the third
We
season.
don't talk about
All right. So in conclusion, what's your take on new gen versus old gen?
I think for me, I think old gen still captured a lot of story and a lot of long pacing. I think people at that time were still trying to figure out uh, how to pace stories well or good. And I think in new gen, although there's a lot of slob, there's a lot of brain rot anime and all really with really bad plots and only fighting and no substance at all. I think we can still look at the new gen anime that do have a lot of substance, like Chainsaw Man, Frieren.
Oh,
We don't talk
Frieren.
about that.
Frieren is fire.
Frieren, and we can see how anime has improved and evolved and combined the best of two worlds between story and action to, you know, appeal to both old people and the Gen Z audience.
Speaking about Frieren was an amazing anime, and I just really like the part about it that it focused on how Frieren as a species, as a different species from human that lives for thousands of years, she hadn't valued the little things in life and seen people come and go. But as time passed on, she learns to appreciate the little things, even with the people that apparently die really quick compared to her.
Let's go to the topic of fan service in anime. And I just want to ask you guys, what do you guys think of the general portrayal of women in anime?
This is something that pains me a lot, and you can already tell I'm coming from a negative standpoint because um I like when I see a well written female character in anime. But one thing I see is in the mainstream animes, for example, there's this laziness in writing women. Like you just throw them out there. For example, in Naruto, one thing I've seen, have you ever noticed that most of the women in Naruto are medical ninjas? And and the rest are just fighting. Like you're a woman, just be a medical ninja. And is something that there's that laziness in One Piece as well. And I have this theory, right? And I'm not blaming the writers because, for example, to be able to write a woman not close to perfectly, but well, you need to kind of understand the positive sides of women. For example, if I'm a writer and I've never spent that much time with women in my life, I'm probably not going to be able to write women well.
That's true.
You see,
Uh, for Naruto and One Piece, I feel like bro, there's only like what we only know Sakura and Tsunade. That's a medical ninja. We have other characters too. The literal god is a female. So and the other characters too, like
Well,
who's
we
Gara's
Gar's who? Gar's sister?
yeah, Gara's
I
sister.
completely forgot the
Tamari,
win
Tamari, the one.
Tamari.
Yes, that's
And let's not forget about Tenten.
1010 too, and also woman in One Piece. What are you talking about? The
Okay.
Queen of Alabasta herself. I mean, Nami, Robin. You could make an argument that like their choice of clothes are like kind of fan servicey themselves, but to their right, they are badasses. Wait, can I say that?
No, you can't say.
They are very strong characters.
Amazing character.
Oh, Nami can literally like control the weather. Robin has a really OP fruit, and you could look at Big Mom too if you wanna say her. She's literally one of the seven what lords. Is that
Seven. No, wait.
warlords?
She's one of the five emperors.
Five emperors. That's I mean the portrayal in woman in One Piece is really good. It's not always fan service in One Piece and Naruto. I feel like they do have really good representation of women.
Oh, I'm gonna have to completely disagree because I gotta be honest. Nami and Robin are great, but let's be honest. You can be so great. It doesn't matter if everything that it comes down to is the way you're portrayed on screen. For example, when there's a different arc and everybody gets a different outfit, why are these two characters always in their underwear? Why is always a close up on their chest? Why is like you can be strong, you can be a great character, but if that's all that is focused on you, that's bad. That's what I'm saying. And there's more than
There's more to it
okay.
because like I agree. Yes, they are that, but besides that though, they have such great storytelling. Nami, have you seen her arc with the Fishman arc? Her
Yes.
story is great. Robin's story is great. It doesn't only focus on like the fan service. That's yeah, of course that's a part of it, and you can consider it, I guess, bad,
Oh, oh,
but right, people focus more on their stories. They have such great stories to them besides their, I guess, clothing. And look at Zoro too, bro. He's like he's shirtless most of the time. And Luffy too. I'm not gonna lie, bro. He doesn't have shirt under his like little.
But maybe using One Piece and such as the example of
Frankie literally has a
bro,
speedo.
One Piece might not be the best example of showing the bad parts in fan service in like this day and age. Like think about something more like was it Fire Force?
Fire Force.
I haven't watched
And
anime.
I gotta say, it's the unnecessary thing. You are completely right when you say that. Robin has, in my opinion, top five backstories. But it's the and like I'm talking about Fire Force, is the unnecessary fan service that makes no sense. Why is it there? Why is there whoa, close up on your chest? Why is it there? It doesn't have to be. And I don't know if you know about One Piece, but for example, there's this thing that bothers me. Rebecca. Rebecca in Dressrosa, she's canonically, sorry, 16. Why is her body like that at 16? The whole arc, she's in underwear and she's canonically 16. It's the and mind you, I'm criticizing One Piece and One Piece is my favorite anime, but I am able to acknowledge the bad parts and what fan service is doing to women. And I'm a man. I couldn't even imagine being a girl and watching this and saying, "Oh," but we all got used to it. I'm just saying it's bad. Because yes, all these characters are beautiful and women are beautiful, but why is that? Why is why should they be portrayed like this? Why is their body the only thing that we are mostly focusing in on? There's some scenes where Nami's not even talking, but her body is there.
I agree. Some parts of One Piece do show that, but the most mostly for the woman, the main characters of the woman in One Piece, it's not their bodies, it's their story, which is the main part of the thing. And if you're only focusing on the body, I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
But I do agree. The what's that girl's name again that you were talking about? The one that was 16, Rebecca. That is kind of problematic, and it's shown in a lot of anime, and that is should be stopped. A lot of
Right.
media, it's normalized in there, but
I,
for the rest of, like, Nami, Robin, all that other stuff, I feel like, it's part
I
of
definitely
the
see
character.
where both of you are coming from with the like it's really ruining some of the good anime out there. But there's also some anime that portray women in a pretty good light without the need for sexualizing them so
Yeah.
much. And can we talk about, did you guys watch JJK, right? So do you remember the recent episode with, what's her name again, with Maki? Oh my god, bro, the fire animation, her backstory, everything was perfect about her and that scene without the need to sexualize her or
Yeah.
to change her character to look a certain way. She's just a very well written character.
And we could also talk about Soul Eater with
Wait, didn't like your Maka?
Maki or something.
There's a Maki in Soul Eater too. There's a Maki in Soul Eater.
Wait, let me switch it up.
But yeah, I think
Maka, it's Maka, Soul Eater.
Maka.
Yes, a very well written MC in Soul Eater. She and her partner too. I forgot his name. Soul. It's her name, Soul.
Okay, okay. I mean, yeah. Well,
This brings me to the idea that new gen has actually done a really good job of being on the good side of this fan service problem. As a lot of the new gen these days, I don't know if you guys have been kept up like that, but they really do keep ecchi animes as ecchi animes. And the shonen and action and romances, they stay just that. They have the characters fully clothed, covered, no upskirt scenes, no rubbish like that, and it's all clean. And I've just been so proud. I've been proud as I've been
Um, where?
where name a an anime from 2025 that doesn't have an etchy tag on it, that is actually that it can, no, yeah, it shouldn't have an etchy tag, but
oh,
it
I
should
see I
be a
see what you're
romance
talking
anime
about, but
because you don't want to be trapped, right? If you're picking something for the romance, you are not trying to see um something that has nothing to do with what you're watching,
right,
right? And what I'm saying is they're not tricking you.
right.
You know what you're getting.
I think the main problem where we see that a lot in new gen is just the oversaturation of that one genre of anime, that etchy genre. There might be just an oversaturation which makes us notice it more, but there's definitely a good separation. And when
Yes.
you go over here that you want to watch this, then you get the good content that you want.
Yes, if I'm being honest, back in the day, in the old days, it felt like every anime you would watch would have some sort of fan service, like every single one. It was bad.
That's
There was no separation
yeah.
basically. It honestly was truly horrendous.
That's honestly the reason, because you could say I'm one of the guys that became an anime fan after the Great Shift, but not because it was trendy, but because my friend group pressured me into doing it. And I remember that the reason why I wouldn't watch it in middle school or in earlier high school is because I associated anime with just fan service,
Yeah.
right? And ironically, the first anime I watched was Seven Deadly Sins,
Oh my
and that
god.
confirmed everything I was thinking about. I
Oh.
said, what? But I enjoyed the story and I
Mhm.
enjoyed the fights, but it confirmed to my eyes. I'm like, okay, so I wasn't wrong at 12 to think that this is what anime is all about. But like you said, now yes, you can log in on Crunchyroll and you can just by the title, by the page, by the photo, you can already see, okay, this is not something I'm going to watch, or
Mhm.
this is something I'm going to try. But with shonen, you can still get tricked. because you don't get into Fire Force thinking that's what you're gonna see.
But hear me. Well, yeah, that brings me to a question about the prejudice against anime before the great shift. Like, do you think there's more to anime than just the fights, just the fan service? Like, is there anything like life lessons in that for you?
Yes. And one thing I would say is Villain Saga season 3.
Vinland Saga.
Season 2, I think. Season 2, yes. Because it was the first time in my life that I watched an anime in season 1 that had so amazing fights, right? And I liked it. And in season 2 there was close to none, and I still really enjoyed it.
Yes.
And that made me realize that Villain Saga
It's philosophical, bro.
I could cry. I could cry. Like, yeah, Villain Saga, yes.
It's beautiful. Masterpiece.
Personally, I would have to go with Naruto when it comes to let me say life lessons or taking something out of the story, not just watching it for fun entertainment, because Naruto was really an anime that was more of like a battle of philosophies than just fight scenes. Every villain that you see in Naruto, they had some sort of philosophy that they were coming with that was contradictory to the main character Naruto's ideals and about the world that he was trying to see. So that was really what it was about. Of course, there was stuff in the background happening, like background fights, but the main plot of the story was really fighting about like how do you see life and how do you want life to be. So Naruto would be my top pick of anime that teaches you life lessons. It's taught me a lot. Not to say the least to never give up, which is Naruto's catchphrase.
All right. For me, uh, I wouldn't say I've gotten much life lessons from anime, but I do wanna talk about what's it called?
You're being too slow for me, fam.
Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer. Um, it's first of all, I'm tired of people talk about how he has no story and it's all fighting. It's quiet, but but I want to preference Tanjiro as a role model to look up to, as he has taught me to look at everything on the positive side of life and to be kind to all. Because I have seen his backstory. We have all seen his backstory. We have all seen what he has been through.
His
And
family got completely eradicated,
yeah,
massacred.
and to stay, like, to keep that kindness and good spirit and cheering everyone around him like he hasn't been through so much worse. It's such a big, you have to have such a big heart, you have to be so strong to have such character at such a young age too.
Right.
He's like 14 in the anime. It's so crazy.
That's what I think a lot of people don't get about anime. That it's also like it's like reading a story, like watching a movie. Even though it's fictional, doesn't mean that the story can be substantial and you can't take something from the life experiences of the people in the anime.
Yeah. My favorite anime, I won't say it, on this podcast, but my favorite anime, let's just say the main character is a shut-in, a hikikomori, which basically means shut-in. Uh, I learned from him that there are other joys to life, just even if it's just little things that you can find and share with other people and yourself. And I think that really resonated to me throughout high school, to just find the little joys in life, no matter how like hard life is life is throwing like pressures and studies and homework and everything. Through it, we can just find enjoyable moments like this podcast. I'm talking to my friends right now.
Yes, sir.
It's really fun talking to you guys about anime and stuff, but it really made me have a greater outlook in life. It's like enjoying the little stuff with your friends, having breakfast in the morning with your family, uh just talking to you guys and just enjoying the little stuff. I love that, but with the anime that I'm talking about, which is my favorite anime. But yeah, I agree with you. Anime can teach a lot more stuff than just
It's
being
just the
necessary.
perspective, man. It allows you to experience a perspective that you might never be able to experience as in your own life, but like through watching the anime, sometimes it's just so immersive. Like, for example, AOT, the warring era, like you could really feel yourself experiencing that those fight scenes and what's really on the line, and like ask yourself, what would I do if I was in this situation? If I was so like backed into a corner, what decision would I make? It makes you think sometimes, these anime, and that's what I like about it. These different perspectives. All right, let's wrap it up here.
Let us know down below in the comments, or something that we didn't talk about, something that you wanna mention. If you guys want us to do a part two of this anime podcast and this conversation,
Or if you guys have any opinions on any of our takes, if it's bad or good, please let us know in the comments.
yeah, this is it from Rio.
Joel.
Tibo.
And John.